All right, we're back. Now we're getting ready to dye some parts, all of these parts to be exact. So these have been cleaned and they're good to go. And this is boiling like good. So now that I got that to a boil, whew, a little hard to see, a little steaming up my camera. We're going to use this RC10 liquid dye. We'll pour it in here, get it going. Again, I'm not dumping these parts in boiling water. I'm just going to be dumping the dye in there. So I shook this up like crazy. I already removed the cap to make sure everything was good. I'm using all of it because why not? I've been holding on to this bottle of dye for probably about, I don't know, 4 years in my shop, so I don't think I need to worry about, oh, let's only use half of it. And I got a nice big plastic container. When I'm done, I'm going to pour all that into here and keep it in case I ever have to do it again, because you can reuse it. Not a problem. So of course, the boiling went down because of the temperature of the dye. We're going to bring this back up and let the and I'm not going to video 100% of this because, you know, I've been told depending on how deep you want these, this process could take anywhere from half an hour to an hour. So I'm not going to sit here and go through all that. I'm going to pause this video along the way and hit the highlights of what's going on. So right now, that's what I did. Boiled water, dump the dye in, turn the heat back up a little bit. We're going to wait for it to boil. And then when it comes back to a boil, I'm going to bring it down to a low simmer. And then I'm going to put parts in it. So stand by, stand by. Okay, so we got the parts or the black dye in here, and it came up to a boil, so I'm turning it back down to medium because I'm going to add my parts in there. So just want it to simmer just a little bit. And as you can tell, this is why you do it outside. Boiling, yes, run over onto my hot plate, onto the floor. Yeah, I'd have been in the doghouse if I'd have been inside my wife's kitchen. So we're going to take these parts and start just dumping them down in there. We got some white ones. We got some of the old black ones I told you I got off eBay. I'm putting in these big ones first. And then I'm going to put in the smaller ones. That way everything goes in easily. Of course, if you were inside doing this, definitely wouldn't be splashing them around so much, but seeing how I'm out here on the porch of my shop, that really doesn't concern me. As you can tell, I even got it splashed onto my leg a little bit. Alright, so that's all of the big pieces that are in there now. And then I have these smaller ones, which I'm just going to ever so cautiously dump out of my little sifter here. Alright, and we'll put that in there so it can... And then, of course, you can't see anything because it's black as all get out, but there are some pieces floating. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep the colander that's in there, even though you can't see it anymore. It is exactly the same size as the pan, so I'm not really too worried about that. I'm just going to keep pieces off the edges, keep them down, and keep them stirred off of the bottom so nothing tries to melt or cook down there. And I'm going to let them sit for the most part as much as I can without disturbing it, and then I'll come back every so often and give it a check. Probably about every 10 minutes or so. Alright, and I'm not going to sit here and burn up this video of watching a pot boil. So, with that being said, I'll pause it and come back. So my other video ended up hitting stop instead of pause. So if I can join these two together, I will. If not, I'm just going to have to make a separate one. But anyway, these things have been in here for 15 minutes now. I set a timer for 5 minutes, and every 5 minutes I give them a stir so I know that they're not burning on the bottom and everything's getting covered and really good. Because some of them are falling inside others, and I don't want that to happen, so we give them a real good stirring. Like I said, the pieces of this colander is exactly the same size as the pot, so I can't stir them out of the colander, so I'm not really worried about that. Just be a little easier to keep the handle up so that it doesn't get in my way when I'm stirring them. You know, with all the parts and pieces in here, you'd think I'd be able to pick something up besides just a wheel. There's some little pieces in there, I know. There's some. So those are looking pretty good. Really good. There's definitely black. You know, I thought of different colors, but my end result that I'm trying to do with this is to rinse my spoon off. It's a gold pan. And that gold pan really cleaned up really nice, and there's hardly any scratches on it at all. Everything else was the white nylon, and I got a new cover, new wing, and a new dust cover, and I'm going to leave them all clear so that since I'm putting it all back to the manual speed control, the resistor, original electronics and servos from the 80s when I put it together, I want to be able to see inside of it. So people, when they see it, they pick it up, they admire it, hopefully, who knows. But needless to say, they'll be able to see inside, see all of it. So I thought, well, I didn't really want a whole bunch of different colors. It's already gold and tires are black. So if I'm going to do anything, I'll just do black. So that's why I'm doing black. But I didn't want it all just black. So I'm mismatching. Some of them are staying white, some of them are staying black. Okay, so every time I turn on my timer, this stupid video stops, so it's a pain in the butt. So these things have been going for 25 minutes. If I want to go a full 30, I can, I guess. We're gonna pull them up and just see what the heck things look like. Well, they look black. That's what they look like. So that's a good deal. But I'm in no big hurry, and the more I do it, the better the results. So let's stick them back down in there again. We'll go at least another 10 minutes. All right. All right. It's been well over half an hour, and I think they're probably just about as good as they're ever going to get. So we're going to take them out of here. Just move them around a little bit so they can dump some of the liquid out of the holes. And then into the bath they go. This is still nice and icy cold. I'll still take them and run them underneath some clean, fresh water. But this definitely helps. As a matter of fact, I can probably just get rid of this thing entirely now. Nothing left in there. Nothing stuck to it. Cool. And I can rinse that off. And then we'll let this thing, it's off, we'll let it dry, or not dry, but cool, and then we'll pour it into a bottle, put it on the shelf, and keep it for next time. Let's see what this looks like. So there is a half of my transmission housing. That looks black as black can be. I like it. So, take them inside, rinse them all off. Be back next time.